Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Destiny's Princess, a war story, a love story, along Nobunaga's route, and he is one interesting character. We're on chapter 5 with him, Cruelty and the Beast. A terrible pun. But yeah, he was not fooled from the very beginning, and it turns out that he's been to our world before. The dagger has called on him previously. So, apparently his memories are kind of fuzzy though, so he may not remember the details. But he actually wants to stay in our world and conquer everything. I don't know why he doesn't want to go back to his world and conquer everything. Maybe he thinks this world will be easier. But wouldn't his world be easier since there are no demons back there? Or I would assume that he's was from our world, which has no demons. I mean, as far as I know at least. Well, anyway, let's start on chapter 5 here. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Rokaku?
That's right, my princess. The Rokaku clan. What a weird name. Were they our enemies? Yup, they were our sworn enemies. Then again, that was roughly 100 years ago. We can live peacefully now because our ancestors defeated them.
Then we don't have to fight anymore?
I wonder.
Even if a war starts, I'll protect Saya. Don't worry.
How reliable.
A dream? It was a dream of my real father and brother. We were told about the history of our sworn enemy. It's been a long time. Even though it was only supposed to be a few years ago, it felt like an eternity ago. Just like I thought, I can't remember their faces or their names. Even in my dreams, I couldn't remember anything about my real father and brother. I couldn't even recognize the voices I heard in my dream after I awakened. The only thing I faintly remembered was the conversation we had. But why did I see that dream? I heard a bird singing outside. There was no one who could answer my question. The skirmishes against the demons continued over and over. Neither party suffered a devastating blow, but even saying that, there were casualties. They were fighting to reduce each other's numbers. The demons increased and decreased their forces over and over again. Hanbei and Kotaro were investigating a way to take out the leader, but I hadn't heard the results. I've gotten used to the fact that demons are around.
Is that really true? Does that mean you don't mind demons coming to live here?
Of course not. We can't have that. The provisions were slowly diminishing. So long as the people couldn't return to the village, this year's harvest would be slim. This country was truly falling into ruin. We're holding out just fine, but some people have suggested leaving the castle and fleeing. Either way, it's only a matter of time. After I let out a sigh, I suddenly realized something. Hey, now that I think about it, why did you summon 5 people to help me?
There's nothing wrong with more numbers.
That may be, but Nobunaga told me he could do it all by himself. It's because my true wish was to have a harem.
Wasn't he just being conceited?
You think so? You think so? I didn't think so. That man behaved like a fool, but his ideas were unfathomable. But what was your bias for choosing those people?
Oh, are you not satisfied with the people I chose?
That's not it. But you didn't choose them based on the people I loved, right? I was never close to some of the vassals you switched out. I never had a decent conversation with the man Masamune switched places with. I had never even met the person Kotaro switched with, much less seen him. I don't understand why you replaced those people.
Someday I'll talk to you about those things.
Really? When? Then, there is some logic behind your madness.
Of course. It may not look like it, but I think about all kinds of difficult things.
Well, it's kind of difficult to tell anything about your looks being that you're a dagger. I couldn't trust how much of this was true.
Do be careful, princess. If those men return back to normal, they might up and leave you.
Back to normal? In other words, if their memories returned. I had to be cautious. I still needed their help. Huh? Then why hasn't he gone back yet? Nobunaga had known his memories were fake.
Who are you talking about? I don't even know.
What? You've been there the whole time when we had the conversations. I don't know if someone's listening in on us, so I told you I won't mention any names. Not to mention, you should already know who. You were close enough to see, right?" The scabbard started to clatter as though the dagger was laughing.
Well, that man has a strong will and is extraordinarily determined.
So, are you saying that if they have strong enough willpower, they can stay?
It's possible it's because he hasn't remembered all of his memories yet. Honestly, I don't know why either. I'm not lying now.
I see. I felt like Nobunaga had more to ask me, but I hadn't heard from him since then. It continued like that until one morning, my eyes were wide open. Huh? Father has gone out to the front lines? Yes, he did early this morning. He took a few troops and left all of a sudden. I wonder if his injury is okay. Yes, according to the pages, it is considerably better. I heard he's been recently swinging his sword around as well. I see. The handmaid left, and I was in my room alone. All I could think about was Nobunaga. Then again, I have nothing to do until he comes back. That's right. I suddenly realized something and started to speak. Call Nobunaga? We don't exactly have cell phones here. How am I calling him? Nobunaga. I realized something after I unintentionally called for him. There was no way he could reply. Nobunaga went out to a skirmish. Not to mention, even if he was in the castle, he wouldn't be close enough to answer me anyway. Geez, I'm acting so silly. No one was around, but I made an excuse. I called out to the person I originally wanted to. Kotaro. What? Why? There was no reply through the entire room. Kotaro, you're there, aren't you? I know full well you are. I won't get mad, so come out quietly. How did I know he was there?
You say you won't get mad, yet you already sound angry.
From some unknown place, Kotaro's whistling voice echoed in the room. If you don't come out, I'll just get angrier. Just come out. A little bit after I shouted, Kotaro appeared in the middle of the room.
I, Kotaro, am here at your beck and call, princess.
At my beck and call? Yeah, right. He was here after all. I thought he was, but I didn't know for sure.
But, princess, how did you figure out I was hiding? My presence should have been completely hidden.
I glared at Kotaro. It's because my father knew I talked to my dagger inside my room. It's a ninja's job to investigate things like that, isn't it? If he says he's going to use a ninja, then I thought he would surely use you, the leader of the pack. I am his daughter, after all. He couldn't leave that responsibility to someone else, could he? Well, he could have more important things for Kotaro to do. We're at war, after all. Kotaro smiled and provoked me with his rude tone.
Oh, looks like you found me out. There's nothing I can do. You're so smart, princess.
Geez, what's with that manner of speaking? It's annoying.
Whoa there. You don't need to glare at me with such a scary face. I am Lord Nobunaga's servant. If my master Nobunaga orders me to, I have to investigate no matter what.
Kotaro wasn't being shy. How much do you know?
I can't say. My master told me to keep quiet. I can't recklessly spill my secrets now, can I?
Come on, we were lovers before.
But you've been careful lately not to talk about anything carelessly. So, I don't know a whole lot.
In actuality, I had been cautious. I had spoken carefully in case someone was listening. On top of that, I made sure never to let go of the dagger. But why are we talking about this at all if you know someone's listening? Because Kotaro could get his memories back from hearing all this.
Even if you say you're being cautious, you don't have a lot of physical strength, right? It looks like Lord Nobunaga wanted to get a hold of your dagger. Please do be careful.
Whose side are you on? Well, of course, Nobunaga's. How much time does he spend with you? I smiled bitterly. It sounded like Kotaro was warning me about something. Of course.
Well, Lord Nobunaga is the leader of the Fuma clan. Thanks to him, my men can eat.
Well, that is true.
But you know, personally, I'd say I'm on your side, princess.
Aww. Oh, how come?
I wonder why.
Kotaro put his hands behind his back and started to grin. So cute.
Well, either way, That dagger seems to be quite valuable. I understand why you don't want to lose it. For some reason, Nobunaga seems dangerous.
Oh, are you sure you can say that about your master?
Oh, I don't really mind. He won't kill me if you heard I said it. He'd only want to kill someone if they were useless.
Kotaro smiled, full of confidence.
More importantly, Lord Nobunaga's wound is a lot better now. Something big might be underway soon.
Something big? Is that in any way related to today's skirmish? Don't tell me they found a way to defeat the head demon.
Well, I'm not sure if I can reveal that right now. You should ask him yourself.
Kotaro frowned after he spoke.
But if you go ask him, be on guard. For some reason, it looks like Lord Nobunaga wants to woo you.
Yeah, I noticed. Wait, what do you mean for some reason? Do you not see why? ... I felt like I was attacked off guard and stood there silently. Kotaro tilted his head.
I don't really know the details, because I've only been in the castle for a few days, but... Well, it's kind of complicated, right?
Yeah, I guess. There was no way I could tell him that we weren't really related by blood. If I did, everyone in the castle who had their memories altered would insist we were related. To them, that was the truth. Kotaro sat cross-legged and scratched his head vigorously. Shouldn't he at least know from listening to my conversations?
Naturally, no one would accept that. Despite that, Lord Nobunaga is playing it cool. You have it rough, don't you, Princess?
He had a meek smile on his face, as if he was trying to comfort me. Thank you, Kotaro. I don't intend to be wooed by him. That's what I must say, although I totally don't mean that. But it's okay. I don't intend to be wooed by him. I looked down and murmured lightly. I'm just playing hard to get at the moment. That was right, being swayed by him. I don't understand what this sentence is supposed to mean. That was right, being swayed by him, not in the least. He was a vulgar drunk and always talked in a loud voice. Not to mention, everyone around us fully believed we were father and daughter. Kotaro disappeared once again, and I thought about things alone in my room. But if the demons disappear, will everyone leave as well? Yup. The reason everyone was in a hurry might have been because they found a way to defeat the demons. Nobunaga told me when they finished, they would go back. That was why he yearned for a way to stay. Of course, it would be better if they left. If he stayed in this world, the flames of war would rage until his life ended. I was sure of it. Really? I mean, doesn't he just want to own everything? Wouldn't he be happy if he just owned everything? I was now confident about that. I was sure that was the type of man he was. There was no way I could let someone so dangerous stay in this world. Also, why would he want the dagger for that? Because you would think he would want the accomplishment of doing it himself. Because, I mean, if he wished for it, then he wouldn't be accomplishing it himself. And it would kind of make things moot and boring for him. That night, Nobunaga didn't return. I stared at the ceiling absent-mindedly in my futon while I couldn't sleep. For some reason, I couldn't sleep. Even if I closed my eyes, I kept thinking about pointless things. I thought about when we went on an excursion some time ago and when he hugged me from behind. Then I thought about the time he undid my kimono and how his hands crawled inside me. I felt like my body suddenly got hotter. I breathed out warmth. My feet felt itchy and I couldn't calm down. Hey, I spoke to the dagger on my chest. Is Nobunaga all right? Do you know?
Let me see. I wonder.
Oh, could it be you don't know? I thought you would be more useful.
It's useless trying to provoke me. If I don't want to tell you something, I won't tell you, no matter what.
You bully.
How unexpected. You seem very worried about Lord Nobunaga.
I could hear him, but couldn't see him. I jumped up after hearing his abrupt voice. You were still here?
Well, yeah. I am here to guard you after all.
Are you here to guard me, or are you here to constantly eavesdrop and wait for me to drop my guard so you can steal the dagger? Actually, he could have stole the dagger anytime because there's numerous days when I slept. I'm sure he could easily steal it while I slept.
More importantly, Princess, could it be your feelings for Lord Nobunaga are...
Again. For just a moment, I couldn't answer. Don't be stupid. There's no way that's true. Yeah, as if. I was just a little worried, that's all. Kotaro seemed to doubt, which made me angry. What's with that tone? I'm not lying. Plus, when he comes back, I'll probably come after my dagger again. I was worried about that, and...
Oh, was it really about that?
The dagger spoke up in a hazy voice.
If he asks you to hand me over to him, next time, make sure and hand me over.
Huh? But then...
Didn't I tell you? In actuality, I don't have much power left in me.
Huh?
Not to mention, when I was sealed in the dagger, I was told I would be set free after granting 10 wishes. Soon, I'll be on the 10th wish. Hehehe.
Then, even if I give you to Father, he won't be able to do anything, right?
Yes. Give me to him. If you do, he won't be able to tease you anymore.
Oh, you don't want to be by my side anymore?
Tease?
I could hear Kotaro's suspicious voice from somewhere in the room. Don't worry about it. It's nothing.
But...
It's okay. Good night. What, you think he's really gonna go away? I pretended to sleep and closed my eyes. But I couldn't believe the dagger had no power left within it. Even if demons attacked me again, it wouldn't be able to save me like it did last time. Princess, Lord Nobunaga has returned. Her voice echoed behind my door, a few hours after I'd begun pretending to sleep. Was I still pretending after that many hours? I rushed through the hallway, still in my pajamas. And how is Father? According to the watchman, he has returned safely. I see. Thank goodness. I realized something from the bottom of my heart. Why am I so happy? Didn't I think he was a big nasty fool? Then why? I quickly got changed and rushed to the front gate. The vassals were already there. There were a few missing. I didn't see Yukimura anywhere. No, don't tell me he got captured. Nobunaga passed through the gate and entered. He handed the horse's reins to a servant. Nobunaga looked at everyone gathered around and laughed fearlessly.
My friends, we went into the demon's nest.
For a moment, everyone was silent as if they were caught off guard. They then slowly started to make a fuss, like ripples moving in water. The noise gradually got louder, and it turned into a big commotion. The demon's nest. I couldn't believe it. I never thought something like that could exist.
Then, the real leader is over there? Without a doubt. I have an idea about who the one behind all this is.
Yeah.
The vassals sounded surprised. They also cheered. The vassals yelled, "Hooray for Nobunaga! Hooray!" Nobunaga's face suddenly turned grim.
You fools! It's too early to be cheering.
With his thundering voice, everyone became silent.
Don't relax just yet. The real battle is about to begin. In a few days, we'll launch our final attack. Take that to heart. Yes, my lord.
It was apparent the vassals all felt the same way. I ran in front of Nobunaga, which doesn't sound wise, but oh well. Father! I rushed to the front.
Oh, sire.
Nobunaga smiled and took long strides toward me. Thank goodness, it doesn't look like he's injured anywhere. I was relieved seeing his magnificent stride. He then suddenly grabbed my chin. What are... Don't kiss me in front of everyone, please. Nobunaga lifted my chin up and investigated all around my face.
Oh, so you just quickly and came rushing out here, huh? You also look pale. Were you so worried about me that you couldn't sleep?
Do you really think I wouldn't deny that? Don't be stupid! I freed myself from his grip and argued back at him. At any rate, my face was hot. Nobunaga laughed heartily and bent down. He came close to me and stared at my face.
The tomboy has become so feminine all of a sudden. What a gentle face.
I didn't change or anything.
Enough. Don't say another word. No matter what you say, it just sounds like an excuse. More importantly, you heard, right? We found the demon's nest.
I looked up at Nobunaga and nodded earnestly.
Wait for a while. I will grant your wish myself. Don't worry, I won't make you wait that long. I'll avenge your real father, brother, and vassals for you.
How many people are close to us? How many people are hearing this? We can't just have these conversations out in the open. He sounded so reliable. It emitted powerfully throughout my body. Yes. And it sounds like he wasn't even being quiet then. I nodded. I had to accept it. Somewhere in my heart, I was truly attracted to him. To this big, unheard-of man, to a man who was as strong as a wild beast. And then, I will accompany you when you launch the assault. The vassals around us started to clamor about this as well. Nobunaga's eyes opened wide as well.
Oh, you're quite determined. But don't you think you'll just get in the way?
Maybe if I practice my archery a little. That may be true. However, if I become a burden, I don't mind if you abandon me where I stand.
Impressive. You really are determined. But why did you come up with that idea?
Do you remember that day we went out on an excursion? You told me to take out the remaining demon. You told me to take out those who brought the calamity to my nation with my own hands. I've grown tired of just sitting and waiting. He's rubbing off on me. Nobunaga had a faint smile on his face as he gazed at me. His smile deepened, and his loud voice echoed from within his chest.
Nicely said. I like you even more now.
Huh? My view spun, and it felt like my feet were floating. I was face to face with Nobunaga. He was holding me up and smiled close to me.
I've made up my mind. I'll make you mine after all.
Bah! His lips came closer. What are you doing? Bah! I tried to push him away, but he wouldn't let me resist. Our lips touched deeply, very deeply. How do your lips touch deeply?
But what?
The vassals shocked voices. I struggled to get away, but his hands were stronger. They bound my body. The more I struggled, the deeper his lips violated me. Ow! Maybe they meant tongue instead. Before I knew it, I lost all strength. It's a scandal! What have you done, Nobunaga? Couldn't you at least take me to my room to do this? The hand I tried using to push him away was now limp. Even when I pushed my frail fingernails into his chest, I didn't even leave a scratch mark. Oh, and he has impervious skin. Our lips finally parted. I felt dizzy and couldn't even see Nobunaga's face.
The Lord really is a giant fool.
I heard someone spit out those words, but Nobunaga didn't feel guilty. He laughed in return.
Oh, and what of it? Let's go, princess.
While carrying me lately, Nobunaga and I trotted into the castle. How was he carrying me lately and I'm trotting? I can't get a visual on this. When no one was around, I spoke to him in a soft voice. Please let me down.
It's fine. Let me hold you.
I'm asking you to let me down. This time, after I pushed him away, I fell down and somehow held my ground. What exactly were you thinking?
Did I do something to anger you?
Does my opinion not matter to you?
What? You didn't like it? That isn't true, is it?
He asked me curiously, and my face became hot again.
If you're not interested in me, I won't meddle in your business any longer. Try saying it. How do you feel about me?
I think you're likable. I think you're likable. I answered honestly. After behaving like I did, all I could do was accept it. Nobunaga smiled.
Oh?
But we're father and daughter.
We aren't actually father and daughter. You know that very well.
Even if I think that way, the others won't. Nobunaga exhaled and laughed with his nose.
The vassal's eyes only see so far if you worry too much about how others see you. You'll miss out on what you need to achieve. I don't care about what they think of me.
Nobunaga took a step toward me. But it can cause dissension in your army.
My life is my own. I'll do with it as I want. I'll drink when I want to drink, and eat when I want to eat. And I'll embrace when I want to embrace.
Yeah, he hasn't a care in the world. My body was burning. Nobunaga suddenly loosened his presence and took a step back.
Let's postpone this for another time. I am very fond of you, therefore I'll give you time. I'll embrace you next time.
He told me as he walked past me. He went deeper into the castle. I heard his footsteps get further and further away. When they completely disappeared, the strength in my legs drained outward.
I'll embrace you next time.
When was that? Tonight? Tomorrow? After the battle? Either way, I was sure he meant the next time he wanted to embrace me. What a man! I was sure I decided to obey that man. I shut my lips. I could feel the traces left by his lips. What a man indeed! Next chapter, chapter 6, will be Among Those Who Wept. But still, seriously, this scandal can cause dissension in the army. He shouldn't be thinking that way. He should have been smarter than that. And what happened to Yukimura? They never mentioned it. Well, I guess we'll find out in the next chapter. Come on, Nobunaga. You're not moving fast enough for me. We're already on chapter 6. You're giving me entirely too much time. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like Kotaro or Nobunaga better. Well, we'll see how many points he earns at the end of his route. See how his endings are. I hope to see you in my future videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.